the secret of America and why it's so appealing to foreigners who come often from poor countries is that in America, the black American is the permanent bottom class of society. Think about this shit. When all these other groups came from off the boat at Ellis Island and came to America to get a piece of the American dream, they initially lived in the same hoods, in the ghettos, in the inner cities that our ancestors up north may have lived in. As they slowly, one by one, got their white card, they went to white world, to the suburbs. This is why America is appealing, because you may have been nothing where you came from. You may have been poor. You may have been a peasant. But in America, you'll at least be better than the black people here. And that's the thought of America in their promotion of getting other Caucasian like groups or groups that they plan to add into the white designation here. Because once those same various ethnic groups come to America, they'll be so grateful that they'll do everything to support and uphold white supremacy. Case in point, look at these Latinos. I ain't gonna say all, but look at least a majority of these Latino Hispanics that voted for Trump thinking they was gonna get their white card, end up having ICE come to their house to kick their door down. This is what happens when you do deals with the devil. Y'all wanted that white card so fucking bad, and look at you. Now he's putting on planes up out of here. I'm not saying that should have rushed and voted for Kamala either, because I don't with her. So don't get me fucked up. I'm not a Democrat. And I damn sure don't endorse a Indian American or Indian Jamaican woman trying to pass herself off as a black American. I got more respect for JD Vance and his wife. At least she's presenting herself as an authentic Indian American woman. We ain't got time for cosplay. They tried to pass Kamala off as the first black woman president, which would have been very disingenuous. They should have marketed her as the first Indian American female president, which would have been more legit in its presentation, and maybe she might have actually got through. But all that said, I'm not fucking with no fake infiltration ass niggas, and neither should you. They insulting your intelligence as the black community. They tried to out and she do a couple of little dances and talk about hey girl and all this. Everybody that claims to be black is not black. Looking at a couple of photos from her family picture where they all sitting there with their traditional family Indian garb on should have told you. I have no issue with Indian community. I have an issue with people from other communities trying to present themselves as black to get a benefit and then come in to a position of power and then place benefits to their people that they truly have interests with. Y'all gotta be smarter than this. Stop treating this shit like it's a religion, because it is. A lot of us have been indoctrinated into voting Democrat like it's almost like a Christianity add-on. You go to church, you vote Democrat. That's all I know, cause I was one of them niggas too. We gotta understand our value. These Democrats are dirty and evil. These are to help fund the KKK. When our ancestors were in power doing Reconstruction, they took direct hand in those race massacres when our ancestors went to the polls to vote to keep our black ancestors that were the mayors and governors and senators of those southern states during Reconstruction. It was the white Democrats that worked with the Klan to kill and intimidate our people to the point where they no longer even wanted to vote anymore at that point, which allowed white leadership to resume power back in those southern states after Reconstruction. You got to put your thinking caps on. I'm not saying this out of hate. I'm saying this shit out of love. Y'all niggas need to wake the fuck up. If you over 60 and you just set in your ways and refuse to learn, well, nigga, you about to be dead anyway. These young people is who I'm really trying to reach. Y'all niggas aren't locked into the fuckery. Y'all are smart enough and hopefully street savvy enough to see when a nigga running game on you. Hopefully y'all are young enough to not be set in a way that your parents tried to set you in. I'm not saying we all need to rush over to the Republican side, but the Democrats have been using us for free and we haven't been getting no tangibles out of the equation. The Asians got their own anti-crime bill. The LGBT community got their own bill. Faithful niggas that been supporting their ass since 1964 ain't got shit. Yeah, I'm on my soapbox right now. I gotta say what the fuck I gotta say because I don't give a fuck if this shit get my shit demonetized or not.